Hey guys, I'm John Setzler. Welcome back to the Kamado Joe cooking channel. Today we're going to fire up the Kamado Joe Classic and we are going to cook a bacon wrapped cheeseburger meatloaf thing. So let's get started. I've started out by lighting a fire in the center of the firebox of my Kamado Joe Classic, and I've got the divide and conquer flexible cooking rack in place. We're going to put both halves of the heat deflector down in the low position here and put both halves of the grill grates up high. We're going to set up for indirect cooking at 350 degrees, and in order to do that I'm going to open the bottom vent about halfway, and then I'm going to set the slider on the top vent about halfway, and we're going to let this slowly come up to around 350 degrees or so. And if I need to cool it down, I'm going to close the top vent, or if I need to warm it up, I'm going to open it. But in order to speed this process up, I'm going to give it about 10 more minutes here with the vent fully open, and then I'm going to come back and, like I said, we're going to slow it down and settle it in at 350 degrees. In a large mixing bowl here, I've got 2 1/4 pounds, or about 1 kilogram of 90-10 ground beef. To that, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of dried oregano, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm just going to get in there with a hand and we're going to work that all together until that's completely mixed. After I got all that mixed, I took a half sheet pan and lined it with aluminum foil and spread that ground beef mixture out across the whole surface of that pan. And then I'm going to add some barbecue sauce, and with the basting brush I'm going to take it and spread that all over the surface of this as well. And then we're going to follow that with some slices of sharp cheddar cheese. And after we get the cheese on, I'm going to sprinkle on some chopped onion. And if you want to saute your onion first or caramelize your onion, feel free to do so. I'm going to leave these raw in here and let them kind of cook in the meat. And once I have the onions on, I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of a barbecue rub. You can use any kind of rub you like. And the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to use the foil and we're going to roll this into a log. About like that, and then we'll move on to the next process. I have another sheet pan lined with foil with a bacon weave in it, so we're going to transfer our meatloaf log onto this bacon weave, and then we're going to use the foil on that pan to roll that up. And once we have that rolled up, I'm going to move it kind of back to the center of my foil, and I'm going to kind of shape it up by hand just a little bit here on the ends, and we're going to wrap this in foil. And the first part of our cook, we're going to let it cook for 20 minutes or so in the foil. So I'm just going to kind of wrap that, close the ends up, and then we'll take this bad boy to the grill. Okay, our classic is up to temp. I'm cruising along right at 350. Got some nice smoke rolling, and I've changed my mind about cooking that in the foil. I'm going to cook it on the pan though, because this kind of thing can be really difficult to get off a grill if you put it on there like that. So we're going to let this cook until I get up to about 160 degrees in the center. So we'll be back after a while to have a look. We've been going about 40 minutes or so here, and I decided at that point I was going to go ahead and take it off the pan since it's had a chance to firm up a little bit and go directly onto the grill with it. So our internal temperature here is about 125 or so, so we're going to let it keep cooking. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes now, and the internal temperature on this is up to 160 degrees. Can't see through all that smoke where it's dripping on the heat deflector down there. I'm going to take this off. We're going to let it rest for a few minutes, and then we're going to cut into it. I've let this guy rest for about 10 minutes here, so we're just going to take a knife here and slice this down the middle. Have a look. That looks amazing. It smells fantastic also, so I'm going to slice a piece off of here and we're going to have a taste. Okay guys, the moment of truth has arrived, so let's get a taste of this guy. That has a beautiful combination of flavors. It's got the best of the meatloaf world and the best of the cheeseburger world also. Really easy to make, really quick. You can make this loaf up ahead of time the night before, and you can just wrap it in plastic and put it in the refrigerator and have it ready to go on the grill the next day if you like. So give this a try. Let me know what you think. Join us on Facebook, facebook.com/Kamado Joe. Follow us on Twitter @Kamado Joe. And until next time, I'm John Setzler with Kamado Joe Cooking Channel.